welcome to Muscoot Farm. My name is Mary. Today we are talking about goats. I thought we'd visit with them and I'll tell you some fun facts about this animal. We're in here with the Toggenburgs, and they are a breed of goat that is usually raised by farmers for their milk and dairy production. This one here, his name is Tebow. He's very friendly and he's been at the farm a long time. What can I tell you? Goats are ruminants, which is a type of animal that has 4 compartments in their stomach. So their digestive system is very unique in that way. They can digest lots of roughage, things like twigs and bark, and other plants that other animals don't usually like. Goats then, as they're digesting, they do it when they're very relaxed, and so that's called chewing their cud. So they'll digest some of it in the first compartment of their stomach, then they actually kind of throw it up, and then they chew it longer in their mouth, and that helps break down everything that they ate into substances that are can be used in their body for energy. It also, the digestive process keeps them warm, which is important in the winter. The goats, let's see, they have, as you know, goats are great climbers. They're in the wild. They live in like rocky areas and sometimes mountainous areas, and their hooves would naturally be worn down by the rocks. But when you have them in a farm, if they're in an indoor pen for the winter, you need to do things to help them, like you will actually trim their hooves. Their hooves are made from the same material that makes our fingernails. So they just keep growing, and every few months or a few weeks, depending on how fast the hooves grow, you'll get the goat into a stock where they are positioned so that you can lift up one foot at a time and trim it with a special tool called a hoof trimmer. Goats are also, they don't sleep in a deep sleep like we humans do. They are prey animals, so they always need to be sort of at the ready in case a predator were to come and attack. So they sleep in short little spurts, and it's actually, their eyes usually stay open. So sometimes you'll see a goat just sort of resting and looks like they're staring off into the distance. Or thinking about something, and that's where we get the word ruminating from, because they're ruminant animals. To ruminate about something means to think about something deeply. And they're all looking over at the entrance of the barn right now because the farmer has entered to give them their breakfast, their first meal of the day. They get fed twice a day here at Muscoot. And during the day, if they're outside in the pasture, they can also browse all day on the plants that we have here.
All right, there they go. People.
they are excited, so you have to kind of spread it out. Otherwise, they will all kind of fight over the same bit of food. Here. I'm gonna go with bird and the ham. So I said we're in with the pygmy goats, but actually I should have said we're in with the pygmies and the Nigerian dwarfs. They are both smaller breeds of goats that, fun fact, actually came here to the United States around the same time as the animals for the menagerie or the circus and things like that. So when they brought over lions and tigers, they also brought over a food source for those animals. So these smaller goats were used to feed those larger animals, and some of them survived after their boat trip. And now we have them here at the farm mostly as a pet. They're not known for producing a large amount of meat or dairy, so many farmers or backyard farmers have smaller goats like Nigerian dwarfs or African pygmies just to be a pet and to help cut their grass. So another interesting thing about goats that actually kind of freaks a lot of people out is the way that their eyes look. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about it to explain why they look this way. So the pupil, the black part of their eye, sometimes looks like a rectangle as opposed to a human's pupil that looks more like a circle. And that helps the goats to see side to side in a very large range, because in the wild they are prey animals, so that helps them keep a lookout for any animal that might be getting ready to chase them for food. However, since they do see very far side to side, they can't see very far up and down, which is one of the other reasons that they climb so much. Because by climbing, they can then see what's around them, what's above and below where they are. Goats are great climbers, which also helps them because they're browsers, so they can reach up high to eat things like leaves off of a tree or bark. The grayish colored pygmy goat here, his name is Macaroon. He's been here for several years. A male goat would be called a buck or a wether. And that depends on whether he's still able to help mate and produce babies. So he is a wether. And then a female goat is known as a doe. I don't know if that reminds you of another animal in the wild that you might see around your house or around Westchester. But similarly, we have deer who are also ruminant animals, just like goats. This one's name is Mama. She's very friendly. She's been here for a few years as well. And you can also see their their coats are getting pretty thick now that it's winter time. It'll help them stay warm. And in the summertime, their coat will become a bit smoother because it's not as thick. So I hope you learned a little bit more about goats today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.